everybody, and welcome back to Reading Rainbow's Divination. Today's pick a card is Your Divine Feminine. So I believe that I believe that everyone, no matter what gender, has a masculine and feminine side to them, that yin and yang, and you also have this divine feminine and masculine within you. So today we're looking into that feminine energy within you, no matter what gender you are, and see how you can use that feminine energy to help you out in your life. So we have 3 piles for you today, and a little note about myself. I do consider myself a brony. So that is an adult who is into the modern My Little Pony cartoon series, Friendship is Magic. And today we have pile number 1, represented by Princess Celestia. Pile number 2, represented by Princess Luna. And finally, pile number 3, represented by Princess Cadence. So, pick your pile and I'll meet you there. Bye. Hey everybody, it's me, Chandra Faith, with a Reading Rainbow's Divination, and you guys chose pile number 1 with, whoa, oh my gosh, pile 1, man down, ding ding ding, pile 1, Princess Celestia, and you are also my initiators, who are going to light a candle, which goes totally with Princess Celestia because she brings the sun. That's why she has a sun cutie mark. So number 1's got that sun energy, and you are also my initiators for the entire group of viewers viewing this pick a card. And I usually light a intention candle at the beginning or during pile 1's reading, and we cut at cords that are negative or causing us issues, and this could be person, places, or things that are causing negative energy towards you. And I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to completely cut it off, but we're going to cut at it. So maybe cut at all negative cords attached to all the 3 piles. And yeah, that's all I had to say. And I chose the orange candle for our Divine Feminine reading today, because orange represents the sacral chakra, which is also our chakra that rules the emotions and the emotional body. So I thought that was emotions is a very feminine aspect, is handling your emotions, dealing with your emotions, showing your emotions. In modern society, men are generally taught to hide emotions or show little emotion, and females are allowed to express that, and that's because feminine energy is about the emotional body. The opposite of that is the physical body, the physical realm. So yeah, if you're interested, look up the sacral chakra as well. I've lost my lighter. Like calling it in. Lighter. Oh, here we go. There it is. Right in front of me. Couldn't see the lighters for the trees. So, anyway, let's heat up the bottom here. Clockwise to let in love and good light energy. I'm trying not to say good and bad because I think those aren't really great descriptions of the energies around us. It's not just good and bad. I still go with light and dark So I'm just working on my own. Ooh. Let's burn that a little more. I wasn't even counting actually. So let's just try to stick this. And this is my candle holder slash familiar Anubis. And as I explained before, I need to get the right size candles for this holder because this will definitely not stick if I don't. Maybe I gotta make him a little more, not sideways. Almost there. There we go. Whew. Pile number 1. Oh my gosh. I don't know. There's so much fiery sun energy coming out. Also, I call the orange candle, when I work with orange candle magic, as the orange juice of candle magic. So I always feel this like excited vitamin C kick kind of energy when I light orange candles too. So let's just see if that will stick. And hopefully it will. But I don't know. Sorry about all this technical difficulty, but we will soldier on as we hopefully will. And just try to, thank you Orange Candle for bringing in such fiery energy, and thank you Princess Celestia for bringing that sun energy. So for our main reading today, we are going to use the Oracle of the Unicorns. These princesses are all alicorns, which means they have both a horn and wings. If you just have the horn, it's a unicorn. And if you just have the wings, it's a Pegasus. Little pony knowledge for you guys there. And I also, I've connected to unicorns at a very young age, as some children will do. And I think that unicorns represent the feminine energy because the horn is supposed to represent where, kind of like a magic wand that's growing out of your head. And that also, I believe, represents the third eye chakra. And that's why it's coming up here and using your intuition. And so why I think little girls are so attracted to ponies is that they are allowed to get in touch with their emotional side. And the whole concept of My Little Pony, the modern My Little Pony, because there were older versions before that, the concept of friendship is magic is that there's a power outside yourself, which is friendship. And the unicorn magic is a representation of the horn is a representation of you growing out and connecting with the rest of your community. And that creates that magic for change and bringing the world to become the best possible world it can be and not regress. And always, I think we're always, as a world culture, we are striving to reach higher consciousness, higher values, enlightenment as a collective. So the unicorn is this representation of that, of allowing us to really fully embrace that third eye, that intuition, that connection to all of humanity, and in a physical form, in the horn. So that's my unicorn theory for you guys. So let's get a reading on what your divine feminine energy is like, and maybe how you can connect to this feminine energy. All right.
I really love ponies and unicorns and horses. I love horseback riding. Yeah, I'm one. If you've seen Dodgeball, where the main lady girl has just like all these unicorns in her house. I don't have that much pony stuff all around, but it's the energy is just here. If I could like if I could be compare or my way of being a cat lady is I would be a pony lady. If I could have like a bunch of little ponies walking around, but that would probably be really dirty. Actually, you don't want any sort of horse in your house. I think that's a good rule. I think that's why you have barns and farms and whatever they're called, pastures. Yeah. Anyway, pile one. Enough horsing around. Let's get on with this. So you have imagination, clarified by courage, awareness, clarified by action, freedom, clarified by cycles, and expansion. So this is the first thing that came to my mind, was very Mulan energy. And hopefully most of you know the movie, the Disney animated movie, Mulan at least. And then they did come out with a live action version. And then that just comes from the story of the woman warrior, which I think I might be wrong. I think it might be Maxine Hong Kingston, but I don't know. But it's based off a story from a Asian female writer, and about that, having to live behind being a man or living behind masculine traits to fully expose your femininity. And that in the story, Mulan saves the emperor by having everyone dress up like a woman and sneaking in to save the emperor. But the whole time, the whole story is her disguising herself as a man to fight for her country. And I think a lot of women nowadays still have to put on that that man suit, like Taylor Swift in the Man video, where either we have to put on this facade, take on the characteristics of a male to get power, to get money, to get admiration and attraction. And it's hard for a lot of women to recognize that there's power in the feminine, that there's great power, and power is not just a masculine trait. There is feminine power and there is masculine power. And when you're connecting with your feminine energy, there's like, I see that you still feel there's a weakness to being feminine, that it's still, you're still so focused on the masculine being the power, when there's so much deep power in being in control of your emotions, in using your emotions to spur your goals and your actions. Being connected with that emotional healing, and I'm getting a lot of like tingly feeling in my heart chakra right now from just feeling your guys' energy, and just telling you that it's okay to feel really nervous about feeling your power, because I deal with that a lot. And I think that's why I'm getting physically affected by this reading, is that I'm going through the same thing, that all my life I associated the masculine with power and fear and strength. and feminine energy is weak, and I have this word, undeserving of the power, and that they're just not, women are just not good enough for that power and for that responsibility. Yet women give birth, are mothers, and work and do everything, and can do house and job and balance all this stuff. And a lot of women don't recognize the power in that, and the power in being that motherly figure. The father is traditionally looked at as that power head, the head of the family, the breadwinner, all that kind of stuff. But with our modern society, women are stepping into all of these roles. And it's hard to not let go completely of your feminine self when you're trying to gain power and authority, when you've only been taught that power and authority only lie in the masculine. And so, yeah, I grew up with that idea that the masculine is strong, the feminine is weak, and that really hurt my self-esteem because I identified as a woman. So by identifying as a woman, I also identified with those traits that I assumed were the traits of feminine energy, which were the weaknesses, and that's made me really resent other women over time and develop a hatred for women, especially when I was younger, and created a lot of jealousy for me. So I just want to tell you, Padawans, to just embrace your power. Embrace your feminine power. There is power in the feminine, for sure. So you have imagination, which is envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Beautiful imagination, clarified by courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. So imagination clarified by courage is that it may seem very easy to daydream and imagine, but it does take a lot of courage to do that. To really not just fantasize about your goals in life and your highest goals in life that you would think are totally impossible, but your heart is still calling for you, even no matter how scared you are. You still feel that courage to imagine and then make your dreams a reality. And you have that in you by first using that imagination. Feminine energy is a lot about, as I said before, intuition and imagination. If you see little boys and girls playing, usually girls will go towards the more imaginative play, and boys will go towards the building and playing with cars, and that kind of, you can see that kind of difference in play. And then again, I'm saying everyone has those two aspects to them. The aspect that wants to imagine and role play things out, and do the more mental work. And then there's another part of us who wants to play with trucks, build things, and work on our 3D reality in our physical world. So it's really feminine and masculine is really the difference between the invisible world and the physical world. That's how I'm going to put it. So then you have awareness. Live in the moment. Be conscious of your thoughts. Look for signs and guidance. Awareness. Clarified by action. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. So awareness and action. So what I'm seeing here is that being aware of the signs, and also just being aware of your power, that it will be so easy for you to take actions towards what you're imagining for your highest, your best possible outcome for your life. So then we have freedom. That very freeing card. freedom, live wild and free, choose your freedom, claim your independence. And just, I see this woman looks just so relaxed. But usually you would think like, oh my gosh, she's on a flying horse and she's over the clouds and she could fall any minute. But she's just relaxed. She trusts. She trusts in that she has that freedom to be her true self. And then we have freedom clarified by cycles, which is also a pretty card with purple butterflies and a purple moon in the background. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. Ooh, and we just, if you're watching this at the time I'm posting, we just had that big blue moon, and you can, and again, that is another energy, feminine energy can tap into the moon and just learn more about it. The cycles, how maybe keep a moon journal and write down what phase the moon is in and how you're feeling. And that could get you more in touch with your emotions. I don't know where that came from. I've never actually tried that, but I was like, that's a good idea. Thank you, Spirit, for putting that out there. But yeah, moon journal. Try doing that, because I believe the moon is so connected to our emotions because of the water in our bodies. And that change in the moon really affects us just like it affects the tides. And I've heard that so many times, but it's worth repeating, because we are creatures just like all the other creatures on the planet, and they are affected by the moon. So we are not an exception for sure. So then we have expansion. Spread your wings and soar, share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you're made of. You go, pile ones. This is your overall bottom of the deck energy, is that once you get all this together and really own your feminine power, then ooh, pile ones, you are just gonna sail through this. You're no longer a girl riding a flying horse and being afraid of falling down. You are that horse. You are that horse, girl, person, sorry. For you guys, pile ones. So yes, once you get all of this all together, your imagination, your freedom, your courage, your awareness, especially that awareness, really tune into that intuition. Look up ways you can get in touch with your intuition so that you're just always being guided by your emotions, and that your emotions aren't all mixed up. And look into clearing your chakras and doing chakra clearing meditations to get all that fuzz out. Because when you're not in control of your emotions, it's just mental fuzz that's happening. So each decision you make, you're not sure if it's the right decision. You have no effing clue. So you need to somehow, you know how when you have a radio dial and it's not exactly to the right station, so you turn it this way, turn it that way, and see exactly where it's supposed to go. So that's kind of what chakra clearing is to me, is that it's finding that perfect tuning so that you don't hear the fuzz anymore. You just hear crystal clear output. Excuse me. I'm gonna drink some water. I've learned since I moved to Denver that water is so important up here in high altitude. And my throat gets very dry. So then we're going to look into what divine feminine, use the divine feminine oracle to see what divine feminine energies are guiding you and helping your feminine energy. So let's see what guidance you have, who you got from the divine feminine oracle. What are who are number one's divine feminine guides? Ooh, that is a lot of them. I'm just gonna take the top one and see if there's any more. That having all those, I feel like you have a very good feminine backing, a lot of great feminine energies, either who have passed or who are still here, just related to you or being good friends. You are very comfortable with feminine energies, so you're allowing a lot of spiritual feminine energies also to guide you. So that's really great. So we'll see which ones are the main ones. Maybe all of them are just all on your side, all the divine feminine energies. But let's see if there's any other divine feminine energies that are guiding number ones, pile ones. I feel like I have to sing to the cards sometimes. Oh, there's so many. I feel like there's one more. Let's get one more for our pile number ones. Let's see. I feel like you have so many. How do you choose for pile one? It's like a feminine energy parade. Well, look, another one snuck in in there. I wanted just one more, but queens were like, no, she's coming in too. So that's cool. There's 4 queens in tarot. So it's kind of, and also I have my 4 goddesses here. Goddess Pele, who represents fire, lava. Freya, who is the Valkyrie, head Valkyrie goddess, that she represents air to me. And then this is Kuan Yin on her beautiful lotus flower, which represents the earth to me. And then this is my 4th goddess, Oshun, who represents the water. You can see the water at her feet. So these are my 4 feminine energies. And I'll show you your 4 feminine energies that you have. We got Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Inanna. We have Saint Bridget. It's like a shiny card. Our Lady of Exalted Light, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. Oh yeah. Got that sun. Just like Princess Celestia. Celestial beings. Yeah. Stars. That's why she's Princess Celestia. Pope Joan. The Pontiff of Possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. Woohoo. And Fatima. The Mother of Imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Beautiful card too here. So let's read about these fine ladies that you got. Pile 1. Okay, find it. Here we go. All right, so first we have Inanna, yeah. And I feel like since she has the wings, that's when it's probably like that air sign. But ooh, I just opened up to Pope Joan, which was your 3rd card. So she's ready to go first. So Pope Joan, the Pontiff of Possibilities. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. Pope Joan embodies the truth that all things are possible. According to popular legend, there was a female pope who reigned for 3 years in the 9th century. She was a brilliant, highly educated woman who entered the Catholic Church in Rome by cross-dressing as a man so she could be with her lover. Oh my gosh, that cross-dressing... I'm just kidding. I saw the last play I saw was the Shakespearean play called The Twelfth Night, and it was about this princess who got shipwrecked and had to, I forget why, pretend to be a man, and she fell in love with the king who became like her best friend, and she was like his best knight, but he had no idea that she was a woman. And so again, that Mulan story, that cross-dressing story, is that to become, I mean, Pope Joan, you've never heard of Pope Joan. It's like, even a female pope? What? So let's read more about this. So she was a brilliantly, highly educated woman who entered the Catholic Church in Rome by cross-dressing as a man so she could be with her lover. Intelligent and quick-witted, she rose through the ranks of the church hierarchy and was even eventually elected as the pope. 3 years into her reign, she was in a procession from St. Peter's to the Lateran in a lane once known as Via Sacra, the Sacred Way. Her true sex was dramatically revealed in the middle of the Sacred Way when she gave birth surrounded by a shocked and astounded crowd. One legend says that she was killed immediately and buried on the spot where she had given birth. Another says she lived to do penance for her deception, and her son, who became the Bishop Ostia, had her entombed with honor in his cathedral when she died. Regardless, her name was removed from the list of popes, and all subsequent cardinals had to sit on the sedis stericororia, a throne with a conspicuous hole in the middle of the seat, to get a confirmation of his sex before being named as the next pope. Oh my gosh. Pile one. I have not read this story about Pope Joan yet. In the 13th century, Jean de Mailly wrote a chronicle that contains the first written mention of an unnamed female pope. Ooh la la. This inspired a wildfire of interest that spread throughout Europe. To this day, the legend of Pope Joan is widely believed, especially among Christians. Whoa, guys. Pope Joan, that is some strong Mulan energy. Whoa. I was raised Catholic, so I'm just like, what? No one ever told me about Pope Joan. So, when your soul selects her card, we can so easily get caught beneath the glass ceiling of what we think is possible, but the truth is that everything is possible. It's hard for us to imagine just how much the divine wants for our lives, much more than we could ever hope. Pope Joan reminds us that even if we think that what we want isn't possible, it is. Or even better, there is something our soul wants for us that will give us more than we can think to ask for. Pope Joan is a sign to trust in what you believe about yourself. Trust what's within you. Don't rely on what you see around you. Have faith. Know that the circumstances you are currently in are transformed from within. Begin to believe in a vision of your life. Cultivate the capacity to see it, to really imagine it with all your senses, and you will live into the day when it exists as the reality that now surrounds you. Pope Joan's right hand is held in... Pope Joan's right hand is held in the papal blessing, a Christian mudra of benediction. The two fingers that point downward represent Christ's dual nature as both fully human and fully divine. The human ego is limited and lives beneath the glass ceiling. Joan demonstrates to us that for the soul, the glass ceiling doesn't even exist. Trust in what the soul knows is possible for you. This is what Joan's wiry smile reminds us. Soul voice meditation. What helps me remember that all things... Oh, it's a question. What helps me remember that all things are still possible for me? Intention. The possibilities are limitless because the soul is limitless. So yes, that glass ceiling they're talking about. If you were, they talked about that a lot when Hillary Clinton was running for president. This glass ceiling, this idea you have to disguise yourself as a man to get power, and how silly I feel like that now we have just learned that before becoming a pope now, because of Pope Joan, you have to sit on some weird chair which shows your dick or something. It's like, why don't you just lift your pope robes up? So anyway, that is a beautiful story, pile one, and wow. Pope Joan. And also talking about the mudras. So I think mudras are also coming to me, that you can work with those to get in touch with the feminine energy. I don't know that much about mudras, but it's about forming your hands in certain ways, or like what I like to do with meditating is put two fingers together in a circle so that the energy gets connected and swirls back in. So it's, the mudras are used to direct the energy in your body, and you can work with your emotional body through mudras. And yeah, look into mudras if you like. But yeah, that, pile 1. That was such an interesting story. So let's see what the next lady that's going to pop up for us. Okay, let's go try and see if we can find Inanna again. Okay, Inanna, Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Who she is. Inanna represents the power that comes back to us when we accept and integrate our shadow. Inanna was the most prominent female deity in ancient Mesopotamia. At the height of her worship around the Uruk period of 4000 to 2000 BCE, temples and shrines dedicated to Inanna lined the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Her name is Sumerian for Lady of Heaven. Her temples housed her priestesses, and they each would take a man to bed with them on the spring equinox to reenact the divine marriage, or Hieros Gamos, between Inanna and her consort Dumuzi. The Hieros Gamos is an ancient ritual of uniting the opposites from within, the male and female, the light and the dark, and most especially heaven and earth. This theme occurs in accounts of Inanna's descent into the underworld to find her sister, Ereshkigal. She must take off an article of clothing at each of the 7 gates so that when she finally reaches her sister, she is naked. And when Inanna ascends, she does so with Ereshkigal's power. When your soul selects her card, Inanna goes into the depths of her own unconscious to merge with her twin sister self. She becomes more powerful because she is no longer using conscious psychic energy to keep her shadow or negative attributes hidden deep underground. She courageously descends and faces the aspects of herself that are hard to get to when she's fully dressed or cloaked heavily in the ego, or in your man suit when you're hiding behind those masculine traits. Inanna is an invitation to get naked. She wants us to drop our defenses. She wants us to see how holy and sacred it is to be vulnerable. As above, so below. This is an alchemical adage that suggests heaven and earth are not so separate. It suggests that within us, deep down in the dark cages where we place parts of ourselves, the truths that exist there also exist right here on the surface of our everyday lives. So if we are exerting great amounts of energy to keep from seeing our shadow, it is actually playing a large role in our conscious life. When we can face what we think is dark or negative about us, I mean really embrace it and see it for what it is, a beautiful broken place that's a call for love, then we can emerge more whole. We can marry the light and dark aspects of our being, and in uniting with our twin sister from the depths, we can stop projecting her onto other women. We can see and own the hot mess we often are and not get sabotaged by it. The light must cast a shadow, and the high priestess is the one who gets called to love them both. Soul voice meditation. Can I love my shadow as much as my light? And I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. So again, this is reiterating that theme of, yes, show off your vagina. Not literally, but don't be ashamed of that feminine energy and the power that is behind it. Because as I was talking about earlier, for me, I projected my anger onto other women because I couldn't handle my own feminine energy and the power behind it, and that I gave my power away to other women by being angry and jealous and trying to fight outward feminine forces when I needed to look inside to really connect. And that's the beauty of Friendship is Magic, is that the ponies are connecting to this feminine energy and not fighting against it. That there really isn't a enemy on on Friendship is Magic, because the enemy is when someone isn't your friend. So you find a way to befriend your enemy instead of killing them, is the feminine energy, is to kill them with kindness, to understand your enemy, to be empathic instead of competing. That is feminine energy. So then we have Saint Brigid, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end, and my soul is all I need. That beautiful light. Saint Brigid. 166. Okay. Saint Bridget represents the elevated state of knowing that we have everything we could ever need. Bridget was born in Ireland in 453, the daughter of an enslaved Pict woman named Brocca. Bridget's name comes from the Celtic briganti, meaning high or exalted. It is said that the moment that the king witnessed Bridget's generosity, he knew that she was holy and set her free. Bridget shares the name of the Celtic goddess Brigid and took on many of the same attributes. St. Bridget's feast is on Imbolc, the first day of February, which is also the day that the goddess Bridget is honored. Around 480, St. Bridget is found in a monastery of Kildare on the site of a shrine to the goddess Bridget. There were priestesses who tended to the goddess's eternal flame and received spiritual instruction honoring the goddess. St. Bridget is credited with organizing a communal and consecrated form of religious life for women on that same sacred ground. Tradition says that St. Bridget died on Imbolc in 525. She had a female companion named Darlubdach, who became her successor as the abbess of Kildare. Darlubdach also died on Imbolc a year later, which St. Bridget had predicted. The abbey at Kildare that St. Bridget founded became a center of religion and learning and developed into a cathedral city. It remains famous and revered today. When your soul selects her card, St. Bridget lived in alignment with the highest, most exalted aspect of her being. She was born a slave, and yet legend relates that she gave away anything she possibly could to help those in need. Her generosity was the indication of the tremendous inner wealth she received from her connection to spirit. Her message to us is to reconnect to that inner fire, that external flame that feeds us more than anything external to us ever could. Read poetry or whatever feels like sacred scripture to your soul. Let your soul voice surface through some uncensored automatic writing, or let your soul guide your body through movement. Your answers right now are in releasing any attachments to personal possessions, clearing space, uncluttering your home, giving away what you don't need or someone needs more than you do, so that you have the sacred space to remember just how much you have when your soul is loud and ever present within you. Soul voice meditation, what I can clear out of my space that no longer resonates with me. Oh, keep reading that not as a question. What can I clear out of my space that no longer resonates with me? And then the intention again is I give endlessly because the light is without end and my soul is all I need. So yeah, just letting your soul be free, that freedom card of releasing yourself, and again, living in your power, living in that light. And then finally we have Fatima, the mother of imams. Love is my lineage and gratitude is my religion. Here, I'll go find her and then I'll put her back up for you guys to take a look at her. Fatima, Fatima, the mother of imams. Fatima embodies the love and fulfillment that comes from living in a state of gratitude. Fatima bint Muhammad was born in the early 7th century and is the only child of Khadija and the Prophet Muhammad to live into adulthood. She is associated with the title the mother of her father because she cared for Muhammad after her mother died. She is an object of veneration, love, and respect for all Muslims because she supported her father through all of his difficulties. She was a devoted wife and mother of 2 sons and 2 daughters. Her descendants are spread throughout the Islamic world. To the Shiites, she is particularly significant because she was married to Ali, the Prophet Muhammad's cousin. Ali is considered by Shiites to be legitimate heir to Muhammad's teachings. Fatima's many children are considered then the rightful inheritors of Islam. An imam is a leader in the Islamic faith, and Fatima is considered to be the mother of imams because of the love and gratitude she gave to her family. There are many stories about her devotion and the unfaltering love she provided in order to protect them. She never failed to defend what was sacred to her. It is said that Fatima stood up to Muhammad's successor, Abu Bakr, because she didn't feel that he was honoring her father's legacy in the way he had hoped. She lived with great stability because she knew that her love for Her family gave her a solid foundation, identity, and clarity of purpose. When your soul selects her card, we can get caught up in the ego's idea of who we need to become or what we need to achieve. Fatima is the grace that sweeps through our seemingly complex lives and reminds us of what's core, what's solid earth to the soul, family, even if family means a few beloved friends. What matters most is the love and gratitude we bring to those who are there for us, and the love and gratitude we feel when they show up for us. Nurturing, protecting, taking care of the ones we love is a sacred occupation. My great-grandmother, Big Margie, advised me that if I ever had children, I need to make sure I got paid for it. I had no clue what she was talking about. The idea was so foreign. Big Margie believed that women should have a wage for the time they spent raising children so that their work would at last be valued. The role of housewife or stay-at-home mom is sacred, and it is consciously chosen. It is profound contribution to raise and reconstitute the world. There is a legacy of love that can be inherited by the whole family from each undivided attention and presence. Fatima restores the significance and importance to the spiritual path of motherhood. Fatima is also a call to step back, take a deep breath, and take inventory of how much you can be grateful for right now in this moment. She releases you from unreal expectations of yourself. Whether you have mothered a child, a friend, or yourself, Fatima helps you see again the vital role the nurturer provides. She offers the perspective that says love is the family we all belong to, and gratitude is the state of wealth we get to live in. Soul meditation, what am I most grateful for in this moment? And the intention is love is my lineage, gratitude is my religion. So again, reiterating that there is so much power in the feminine, in motherhood, in being the nurturer. That just because you're the nurturer, that you're the big spoon, that doesn't mean that you're, or would you be the, yeah, whatever. I was like, I guess the small spoon is also like feminine energy too. But anyway, enough about spooning. That there's such power. Our society has put so much power in the father figure, and that because he's making that money, that is the only valuable evidence of power, when motherly power is so much stronger than just money. It's what everybody needs, is to mother yourself, to mother other people, is so important. Because we need that. It's like, it doesn't matter how big our house is or how much money we make. If we are not nurturing that feminine part of us, we are losing a lot of power. So let's get some charms, or some divination blocks first. So we got a 4, a cow, moo, a J, and an umbrella. So 4 and J may be significant to you guys. And I get the cow. The cow is such a motherly, is like the most motherly animal I can think of, because we grow up on cow's milk, or for most of us, human beings have grown up on cow's milk or other animals with udders that can provide us with milk, and it's so powerful. The bull is not as helpful to us as the cow is. So that is another significant sign of motherly power, feminine mother power. And then we have the umbrella. What the umbrella is telling me is this protection, that your motherly energy that you are going to connect to is so strong. And even if you've been like had a bad relationship with your mother, or just don't really want to be like, oh, I don't want to really connect to to mom energy, like, ugh. It's like, yes, but you have to find the power in that, of being a nurturer. Who can you nurture right now? Is it yourself? Is it the people around you? Or is it pets, even plants? What can you nurture right now? Pile 1s. And I think that's a big way for you to connect to your feminine energy. And then finally we'll get some stamps and charms. And then I'll let you go on your way. So, we've got this this little evil eye protector bracelet, and it reminds me of, so what I learned when in Kabbalah, when they have the red strings tied on their wrist, it's always on the left hand, because the feminine, that is the feminine side. The left side is where the energy comes in, where you receive the energy. That's why it's the feminine side. The feminine side is the socket. When you plug, you're the socket. Anyway. And then this red energy represents the root chakra, and that inner passion, that again, that power that's seated and deeply rooted and hidden to a lot of people, and that there is deep energy in unlocking your feminine energy, because if you don't open up your feminine energy, you can't receive. If it's only masculine, you're going to be just moving forward, competing, blocking. You need both to make everything flow. You also got the seahorse, which I think is really funny because we're going with that Mulan theme, or like that gender fluid theme, where you have the seahorse who the father takes care of the babies. And I really get that, role switching, role play theme that we've been going through, and that even the masculine can be the mother, or have motherly traits, and also the feminine partner can also be the father and have fatherly traits. So yeah, I just see that you just need to explore the power behind the feminine energy, and just look at how we don't have to be stuck in our gender norms. We can be fluid and understand that we can play both roles of mother and father in our lives. So then we have the number 8, the number 4, excellent, and 1. So if any of that resonates with you, pile ones, take what you want, and I'll see you next time in our... Sorry, pile 1, my camera ran out of storage, so just interrupt me right at the end of your reading. So I just wanted to say official goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 2s. I'm Chandra Faith, here with Reading Rainbows Divination, and you picked lovely Princess Luna, the princess of the moon, who used to be Nightmare Moon until her sister freed her from, Celestia put her into the moon because she was being really the shadow side. So these are 2 sisters in the My Little Pony story, and one raises the sun and one raises the moon, and it's, to me, represents that you have a shadow side and a light side, and you learn from both sides of you, as well as learning from your feminine and masculine parts, as we are talking about in this reading, since this is a reading for connecting to your divine feminine within you, regardless of gender. So let's get into it. I'm going to be using the Oracle of Unicorns, or Oracle of the Unicorns, because I've had a connection with unicorns and horses for much of my life. And I think that is a great representation of feminine energy, especially the unicorn, because it is a physical representation, or this is your, oopsies, this is the one you picked, and it is a physical representation of your intuition, of the magic. The third eye is in that. And I mentioned this in pile 1. All the princesses in My Little Pony are alicorns, which are unicorns with wings. And that horses with wings are Pegasi, and horses with just horns, no wings, are unicorns. Thus, having both is an alicorn. Some pony knowledge for you. Pile 2. So, and then also down below, I forgot to mention this in pile 1, I'm also going to have a song for you guys to connect with your feminine energy from my Feminine Mystique playlist. So I'll have that down below as well, that you can take a look at your song. So let's see what you got here. You've got compassion. Whoa. Wow, the one that popped out like that was dance. And then let's see. Just feel this like giggly energy pile too. Like I feel like you have this moon energy that really ignites you. Ooh la la. And you probably had a really great time around the full moon. I know for a lot of people, they also had a hard time around this last this blue moon, which I just recently learned means blue moon is the second full moon in a month. So the second moon is called the blue moon, and since it's rare, I think it only happens around every 2 years or something like that. So that's why they say once in a blue moon. So let's finish up your main reading here. Let's clarify that magic card. Cha-cha. Oh. Whoa, there we go. That's the one I wanted. Oh, that is so sweet. Alrighty, pile number 2. Ooh, let's get into this. Compassion clarified by trust. Dance fittingly clarified by celebration. Lots of dance and movement in the middle. And then magic clarified by gentleness. Ooh, that beautiful feminine gentleness that's so alluring and charming and magical. And that gentleness is not just weakness. But we'll get into that when we get into that section of your reading. And then your bottom of the deck overall energy is intention. Look at those big old wings. Okay, so we have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. And you can see the heart in there. I think if you guys can see it. But there's a little heart that's glowing inside this unicorn. With trust. This looks like a horse is trusting that it can use its wings. I just bought these new pairs of wings, and now I don't really have any choice but to trust because I'm on the ledge. Leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward. Believe you will fly. I believe you can fly, Pegasus. So compassion clarified by trust. So I think what this is trying to say about your feminine energy is that it's been hard for you to give yourself compassion, forgive yourself, or forgive others. And that it takes a lot of trust to actually go into that mode for you. And that is a very powerful aspect of feminine energy, is to forgive and to trust. Are both two feminine aspects that can be used to bring you to your ultimate goals and to the person you want to be. And I'm seeing just happiness and a warm feeling that you can, again, this trust is coming in here. And this is, the bottom row is about what what's underneath, what you're hiding, and you're hiding this fear that you don't trust in yourself and in others because you haven't forgiven yourself and others. Your middle section of your reading is dance. Move your body to music. Dance with the rhythm of life. Manifest your dreams through dance. So you could even be actually a dancer, and dance could be a very big part of your life. I'm not a professional dancer or anything, but I do try to incorporate dance as much as I can in my life. I'm a preschool teacher, so I work with toddlers, and they love to move and dance and haven't had like that much restriction on how they view their movements. So dance is really important. Just if you can even put music on that you like and dance to and move your body, it's so important for you. And then we have celebration. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy your achievements. So not only just dance, but actually dance to appreciate yourself. Dance to celebrate the gratitude you have for everything that's coming into your life. And I see that also gratitude is another link to your feminine energy, that it will help you forgive others if you learn what you're grateful for, of learning what you have despite what you need to forgive and let go of. So yes, I see that dancing can become sort of a ritual or release and a celebration, and that maybe you haven't ever celebrated yourself before. Have a time to just dance for yourself. Dance for, I just have Dancing Barefoot, like that Patti Smith song, and being yourself and really celebrating who you are in your dance and releasing your body in that way, because I feel like you're holding in a lot of this beautiful feminine energy by restricting your movement, because that feminine energy is flowing and moving and having that show of emotions through physical movement. So try to get into that. That's another way to get in touch with your feminine energy. Take a dance class, take a yoga class, something that moves your body, and get in touch with your feminine side through that. I'm sorry if I repeated myself a pile too. Then we have magic. Make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. Look at that cute. I love this picture. It's looking at you, that magical unicorn. Clarified by gentleness. Ooh, that is beautiful. That looks like one of those 70s unicorn paintings or something like that. It's like sunset. Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. Speak words of love. Oh my gosh, I'm like seeing this up close, but I don't know if my camera will get it, but it's just like such a beautiful picture, this trusting picture. And oh, I love that. That is so cute. So gentleness, magic clarified by gentleness. So what I'm seeing is that to be gentle with yourself and cultivate, first of all, I think that forgiveness of whatever it is that's holding your heart down, and whatever you feel guilty about, or whatever is keeping you from dancing and celebrating. Maybe some guilt, or just not feeling like you deserved whatever it was that you should actually be celebrating, and maybe unleashing that feminine movement and yeah, learn to accept yourself so you can forgive yourself to forgive others. And in that, there is this beautiful magic that will come out of that compassion and gentleness. So work on that, and magic will happen, will appear in your physical life. And then your overall bottom of the deck energy is intention, which is be clear and decisive. Focus on what you really want. Be bold with your requests to the universe. So yes, be bold with the requests to the universe. What I see is masculine energy is being bold in the physical reality, when feminine energy is about prayer and intention and using your mind power to create things in the 3D reality, which unicorns are all about, is using that horn, that intuition to guide them and to create magic. Friendship is magic. So for you, pile 2, we are going to work with the fairy tale oracle to see what feminine energy is guiding you through fairy tale stories. I love this deck and all the stories in here, and I even learned from, the stories that most people know, Snow White, Little Mermaid, all these different stories, and you learn the original stories and the meanings behind it. It's so beautiful. So this is a great thing too. I think that feminine energy also is about storytelling and expressing yourself through being a good talker and also being a good listener. I feel like you can't be a good talker if you don't practice listening as well, so that you can absorb things to say and learn from other people. So it's about that communication. That feminine energy for you guys, pile 2, is about communicating your feelings and connecting with other people. But first, I think it's a lot about learning about that forgiveness first to open yourself up. So, let's see what fairy tale oracle we have for pile 2. Here we go. The Princess Who Never Smiled. Ooh, I love this story. So here's the picture of it. 31 might be important to you. And healing. So let's read about the Princess Who Never Smiled. The Princess Who Never Smiled, healing. What a life she had, what freedom, what luxury. She had much of everything that her heart could desire, but she never ever smiled. She never laughed. It was as if her heart had never taken any joy in anything at all. Ooh, so I'm already feeling that, without being able to forgive number 2s, you're really blocking yourself from that beauty and joy of your feminine energy. Call it the unforgiveness that you have in your heart is causing you a lot of pain and a lot of blockage from that feminine power that you can use to connect to people. And it's blocking you from that connection to people that you need to receive in order to be happy and joyous and dance your fun dance. Just let it out. I feel that stagnant energy, and then I also feel this energy trying to get out, wiggle out, dance your way out of this situation. So I'm feeling for you, but you have a lot of healing. So let's finish interpreting this story. A beautiful princess would seem to have the entire world at her feet. She has good health, riches, beauty, and intelligence, but she is also exquisitely sensitive to the pain of the world, and thus she has never smiled. She's serious and cannot smile while so many are in pain. As it usually goes, her loving father was moved and haunted by her inability to feel joy. And so he promised that whoever could make his daughter laugh would have great rewards, would even be given her hand in marriage. So many men flocked to the castle to make the little Tsarina laugh. But none succeeded, for she saw through their antics and knew that in their hearts they were valuing her for what she could give them, and thinking nothing of how they could help her. And thus others outside the castle's walls, a young blacksmith was apprenticed and slaving over the bellows, wiping sweat from his brow and learning his trade. He was honest and good and thickly muscled, and knew in time if he could master the fire and the water of smelting a metal, his life would be worthwhile, for he would have learned to change one thing into another. Pleased with his work, his master placed a sack of coins at his feet and told him to take as much as he was worth. And being a modest fellow and knowing how much he had to learn and the worth of what he was learning, he took only 1 coin. He worked for another year, improving and mastering the sword and the cup, armor and fine things. He earned another coin, and then he decided to explore the world. As he walked away, a tiny mouse asked him for help as he was so poor, and he gave him his coin. A little beetle then stopped him, and he gave the beetle his second to last coin. Then the coin his master had given him as good fortune for his adventures was finally given to a wee catfish who begged for help at a well. He came to the castle and gazed up and saw the princess watching him, curiosity alighting her serious and beautiful face. So shocked was this young man that he slipped and fell, tumbling into the moat with its muddy banks. And rushing to his aid came a tiny mouse, a little beetle, and a funny catfish. And seeing him and the truth of his heart and the goodness he must have to treat the little one so, the corners of her lovely mouth twitched, and then she smiled, and then she gurgled, and then shook, and the laughter, the joy of seeing the seeming folly of a good heart came tumbling down. Her eyes twinkled, and she begged her father to bring forth this man, so she might learn more of her future husband, for her serious heart recognized his kindness. And then the blacksmith who could create alchemy now made the greatest change. He had created true happiness within the heart of one who was sad. When this card is drawn, you will know that a time of deep earnestness and gravity is leaving. And soon there will be joy and laughter and breakthroughs and celebration and dancing. Optimism returns in a sense of belief once again that there is worth in taking the time to be lighthearted. For a long time, life has felt flat and sad and endlessly serious. But suddenly the spring of mirth that is healing is bubbling again to the surface, and a sign of recovery is revealing itself. And when this is awakened, it is accidental, without artifice and entirely unexpected. Just know that soon any sadness will lift and life unexpectedly changes forever and for the better. Meaning, humor and mirth is sacred, laughter is healing, laughter breaks through sadness, depression or a time of grieving is ending, forced laughter is not true happiness, kindness is always witnessed. You will find laughter very soon, your sadness will ease, a time of earnestness and heaviness will soon lift, and a loving, honest partner with a kind heart will be yours. So yes, work on that trust and gentleness to yourself so that you can have compassion and laugh with yourself and not be so hard. Again, reiterating that idea of forgiveness, to truly forgive yourself first. Please forgive yourself first and be so gentle with yourself. Laugh with yourself. Make inside jokes with yourself. Really be that fun, bubbly, feminine energy. Be that fun, bubbly energy to open up to your feminine energy. Make her smile. Make her smile and come out of her shell. And there is where you can find your feminine power. Pile number 2s. So then I'm going to get some divination blocks. Actually, let's get you one divine feminine. So that we can see what divine feminine energy is guiding you right now. Oh my gosh. There's so many. I'm just going to take this one so we can focus on one right now. So this is Sekhmet, the Red Lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Ooh, yes. Honor your anger. I'm already feeling where that forgiveness is coming from, or feeling that anger, and that it is very hard for you to both forgive yourself and other people for hurting you and or causing you some sort of strife, and that you've spent a lot of your life hiding your anger and or punishing yourself for having anger, and that's where that gentleness comes in to heal the flames of anger that are around you and inside of you. So let's read about Sekhmet, the red lady. I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it. Who she is. Sekhmet represents the sacred rage that keeps us protected and reminds the world of the pure strength of female power. Sekhmet is an Egyptian warrior goddess depicted with the head of a lioness and the body of a woman. The lion was considered the fiercest hunter in Egypt and a sign of protection. She is the daughter of the sun god Ra. The red solar disc that she wears indicates that she is a solar deity. Hold that up so you guys can see. She is known as the powerful one, the red lady, she who mauls, and the one before whom evil trembles. The ancient Egyptians held rituals at the end of war at the beginning of each new year to tame the wrath of Sekhmet. They would play music, drink beer that was dyed with pomegranate juice, and dress all of the Sekhmet statues in red. It was believed that the inebriation would lull the goddess into a stupor and end her destruction. Sekhmet was a powerful guardian and protector of the pharaoh. She was called on during times of war and considered to be a goddess of divine retribution. When your soul selects her card, holy rage, sacred anger, and positive aggression, these states of being are crucial aspects of the divine feminine. It's the female power that ends wars, that brings home missing children, that seeks justice for the earth and for those who can't defend themselves. The brilliant artist and mystic William Blake relates that the voice of honest indignation is the voice of God. The feminine has for too long been disassociated from rage and anger. If we can't embody the fiery emotion of anger, it often festers or expresses itself in subversive, manipulative ways, or it leaves us anxious and frustrated. Positive aggression, acting with love on behalf of what breaks our heart or enrages us, is what allows us to become agents of change to better our lives and the world around us. Sekhmet wants us to come face to face with our true strength. Power doesn't come from passive-aggressive behaviors. We don't have to fear expressing our anger directly to an institution or a person who is acting unjustly. Sekhmet wants us to see that anger is an essential emotion, and Sekhmet is the sacred call to move that anger from pure emotion into conscious action. She wants us to act with conviction and from love. She wants us to create the healthy boundaries we need so we aren't injured again and again. And that's where that healing and forgiveness comes from, is that we create boundaries, we forgive, we move on, and if we need to remove people from our lives, we do that as well. Or so that we can free ourselves from a destructive pattern, it's time to end. We have a divine right to draw a sacred circle around us at all times. The protection we invoke for ourselves and others helps move us from feeling helpless to taking loving action. Yes, loving action. This magic and gentleness is loving action. Is creating, manifesting things, which is the magic, by being gentle with yourself. And that gentleness is also providing boundaries to yourself, being like, I forgive this person for what they've done to me, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye to it. I understand that I've been hurt and that now I'm going to set my boundaries for this person or remove this person from my life. Soul voice meditation, where can I create loving boundaries in my life? And the important word in that sentence is loving boundaries. And if you haven't been used to boundaries or really understand how to put those up, for me it's hard, because for me boundaries are hard because I like to just put them up immediately and not put up loving boundaries. It's always just like stop, and it's really the feminine energy that helps you to take down those walls but still put up boundaries and be like, I need this and this and this so that this relationship can work, or I need you to be kinder to me, I need you to help me, and voice your needs so that you can truly take care of yourself by doing that, and don't be afraid to voice your needs to the ones you love, and really listen to yourself so that you can take care of yourself as well. So let's get some divination blocks for you, pile 2. Stack. Okay, here we go. Oh, you got a lot here. Got a lot popping out. Okay. Woohoo! So we have got. Okay, we have for letters. You got the D, E, V, and oh wait, it's not a letter. A W. So if any of those letters are significant to you. And then for your pictures, you got the dog, which I see the dog as loyalty, and again, that forgiveness that loyalty creates is that, okay, I can forgive my partner for not being emotionally available to me, and since I've decided that I want to stay loyal to my partner, I don't want to cut them out of my life, I'm going to learn to forgive them for things that have hurt me, and I'm going to figure out ways that we can heal together. And that is why you got the healing card, is because I feel like your heart is very loyal, and a way to connect to yourself, and I keep repeating this in this reading, but is the main message I get is to forgiveness, to learn about forgiveness. How can you work with forgiveness? There are books written about forgiveness, and maybe you'll be led to that. So yes, that is what's going to open up your feminine energy, is forgiving yourself and other people. And I know I keep repeating it, but that's the message the Spirit wants me to keep saying to you. So then we got the train, and I get that I think I can train. That you have this beautiful energy, this beautiful dance, celebration, movement, magic in your life, and that it's there and it's very present and it's not completely blocked, and that you just need to be that little engine who helps the little toys and dolls. Because the story of the little engine that could is that all the other trains just didn't think they could do it. And then she comes along and she's like, yeah, you know what? I can do this. I'm not really sure, but I am, and I'm going to help you guys out. And that's what compassion and trust is about, is trusting in yourself so that you can have compassion for others and really help others and not be afraid to help. And then finally we have the acorn, which is that potential. You have so much potential right now to grow into that big oak tree of feminine energy, and use your feminine energy to grow and to grow that magic in you, so that you can really become a full person and learn to love and accept love and give love. And it's that flow that you want to keep going for your emotions, because in pile 1, my pile 1s are the ones where I light the intention candle, and I lit the orange candle. I don't know if you can see it. I'll move one of the princesses, but it's an orange candle right here. So it represents the sacral chakra, which houses or directs emotions through your energies. And so what I'm getting for you guys, pile 2, is that connecting with your compassion and forgiveness will open up your emotional body to accepting love, because I think you really do need to accept love in your life. You still have a little bit of this darkness that's shrouded over you, but you're getting there. You've got the dance and the magic and the celebration cards. So you're there. You might be already there dancing around and you're moving and getting witchy and magical. So you just have this block to just trust that you can forgive yourself and heal, for sure. Pile number 2. So that's all. I forgot to get your charms and stamps. I forgot to get right onto that. So, so funny. I was like thinking, because pile 1 got this as well, and I was talking about receiving love through your feminine side, your left side. So in Kabbalah, the red strings are put on the left hand to accept the energy, so that's the feminine side, which is the receiving side. And so working with your emotions and compassion towards other people and yourself will really open that up, so that you're not blocked from any love that or guidance that will help you have the best possible outcome for your life. And there's also this little protection against the evil eye in this hand. And so I'm seeing that when you open yourself up to that love, it's going to protect you more than these defensive blocks that you've been putting up that have been blocking you from love. Then we have this, I didn't remember that I had this in here, but this little baby, it was for a baby doll. Pacifier. I can't think of the word. And so what I'm getting from this is actually going and looking in on if there's anything in your childhood, in your upbringing that you need to forgive as well, is that you look into that and heal that, or work on that forgiveness, forgiving caregivers or people around you at the time when you were growing up who affected you negatively, and see where you've grown from that and how you can just actually look back at that, forgive, and then move on with your life. Because it seems like there's still some stuck past childhood energy that is still blocking that full feminine power that you can unleash. So then we have the dice, and then the number 5 came up, so that might be significant to you. But what I'm also getting is that you feel like your life is, you're not, again, I'm getting this energy from this trust card, that you're afraid to gamble. You're afraid to roll the dice because you have been hurt before, and you're still working on forgiveness. So it's going to take a little bit of time for you to warm up to that trust, to take that bet, gamble it out. Something like that. So then we have the letter A for you, pile 2, the number 8, which also came out in pile 1, and then T. So that's all I have for you, pile number 2. So I'll see you next time at the next reading at Reading Rainbow's Divination. Bye! Hey everybody, it's Chandra Faith with Reading Rainbow's Divination, and you chose pile number 3 with the Princess Cadence pony, Alicorn. I'm explaining this too. The rest of the piles, an alicorn is a unicorn and a pegasus is a horse with wings. So a unicorn and a pegasus combined is an alicorn. And this is your pick a card reading to connect with your divine feminine within you. So we are using, where did the top go to that? Well, we are using the Unicorn Oracle card, and I have lost my top. But here's the back. But it's Unicorn Oracle if you're trying to look it up. So, here we go. Here you go. Here you go, pile 3. Okay, and yeah, so basically, unicorns, I think, are a way to connect to our feminine energy because they're a physical representation of our intuition through their horn and through the magic they represent. So we can get some guidance on how to connect more to your feminine energy within you, pile number 3s, and how to bring your feminine energy to its fullest, bestest potential. So let's get into it. And I wanted to mention that Princess Cadence is the Princess of Love, I think. I don't know if that's her specific title, but she really helps with that love power. So maybe we'll connect into that energy. And you just got compassion, and there you can see that golden heart on that unicorn. So seeing that, love and compassion are important things in your life. Healer. Look at that. You're getting all those Princess Cadence qualities because the character Princess Cadence in My Little Pony is a healer, a person who spreads love. So that's a beautiful energy that you can connect to. Pile number 3. So can we get clarification for imagination? Oh, here we go. Ooh. Alright. And leadership. Alright. Gentleness. Love that. This looks like a 70s poster to me. I'm getting 70s vibe. And alright, let's look over your cards. So we have got imagination. Imagine a world like that. Imagination. Envision a new reality. Give yourself permission to dream, believe in unlimited possibilities. Wow. Clarified by anger. A real dark horse. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all your emotions as sacred. So I didn't get this specific card in the last pile, but we did talk about understanding the anger within you, the pain that you feel, resentment that you feel towards people, and learning about forgiveness. And what I see here with imagination clarified by anger is that under the surface, you have still a lot of anger issues to work out, and it's blocking that creativity, that imagination that is sparking that passion that you have for the future. And how that relates to your feminine energy is that creativity, those emotions can lead to creative expressions. And that's what I see is connecting you to your femininity, is how you express your emotions. How do you do that artistically or in your own special way? So then we have compassion, clarified by cycles. A lot of purple in there. Compassion, be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. Compassion. Cycles, everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. And we just had that blue moon on Halloween very recently, if you're watching this at the time I'm posting it. And so what I'm getting from this is that to really understand this forgiveness dynamic and heal this fiery anger that you have inside you that's blocking you from your imagination and creativity, is that you need to learn about how your emotional cycles work and what affects you and what kind of emotional blocks do you have that are blocking you from compassion and opening your heart and leading to this next card, the healer, which is, I feel like before you become that real healer, here the healer is clarified by leadership. So that is your potential in the future. But the part of your feminine energy that you need to heal is this anger, and anger isn't associated with feminine energy. It's, I feel like feminine energy tries to, the shadow side of feminine energy is trying to repress that anger, hide that anger. Girls don't get angry. This idea that there isn't feminine anger doesn't exist, and it really does, and it creates rage children in us, and just deep wounds. It's just like, if what I'm seeing is like molten lava just melting you from the inside, and it's painful, and at some point it could just burst out and really get you into a hole, or I just see this like explosion where you're just like, you're like that volcano that erupts, and you're just like, oh, I just did a lot of destruction. And I didn't want to, because your overall energy is gentleness. And also to get in touch with your emotions more is, I was talking about this with the other pile, that this idea of cycles and the practice of keeping a moon journal where you write down the phase of the moon and then what emotions you're feeling. And you can see how your emotions cycle through with the moon, since we are very connected to the moon through the water in our bodies. And also we're connected a lot to the planets, so maybe look into astrology and how placements of planets may affect your emotions as well, to connect you stronger to that feminine, intuitive, unicorn horn magicness. So let's go back to healer and leadership. So healer is, you have powerful healing gifts. Have faith in your abilities. Stay true to your path as a healer. And then you have leadership. Step into your leadership. Share your message, inspire, and empower others. So you have this really powerful gift of being a healer. And maybe it's healing other people from their anger issues. I have a great book to recommend called Healing Rage. And, oh, I wish I could remember the author. But maybe I'll link it down below for you, pile 3. And the book talks about getting in touch with your rage children, which is something that for people who were raised as a she feminine person, it's really hard for women to really connect to that angry part of them, or express that angry part in them. It's like we don't want to express the anger. Anger is ugly and scary and volcanic and destructive, and that's how what I was raised to think. And that there is actually, what I'm getting is, there is a beauty and a healing in recognizing female rage and feminine rage, and that's a good way to connect to the feminine side, no matter what gender you are, and just say, what is the feminine side of me feeling angry about? What are they mad about? What are they fucking pissed off about? So look into that, to your feminine rage. Where is that coming from? And your overall energy is gentleness. Pile 3, please be gentle with yourself, and as you're going through this rage journey, because anger, you're feeling like this, and look at the same, it's kind of the same colors, that orange and dark darkness in there, and you can use that to heal. Use your darkness to heal and find the light within. There's light within your anger. And you must be gentle with yourself, because you don't want to anger yourself more to block you from healing that anger. You can't fight anger with anger or fight fire with fire. So fight it with gentleness, with tenderness, as you're being faced with that intensity of your anger and rage that's within you, pile 1. So that is a great way and to connect to that compassion. So actually wanted to do some eternal crystals for you guys, since we are talking about releasing those energies so you can connect your divine feminine power. So let's look into that. Okay, so let's see what crystals Spirit can pile 3 work with to connect to their divine feminine. Woo! All right. Oh, got 2 bars. Perfect. Let's go with those 2. So we have Tiger Eye, or Tiger's Eye, Animals, Solar Plexus Chakra, 39. So animals can really help you out right now. So let's take a look at the meaning behind this crystal. And so number 39 could be significant to you, pile 3, or working on your solar plexus chakra. So let's read about this. Tiger Eye Animals. Tiger's Eye has appeared for you to highlight your connection with the animal kingdom. It doesn't matter if they are wild animals or domestic pets. You are being reminded how important the animal kingdom is for you and your purpose. You have a unique ability to connect with all types of animals. You're able to help these animals and communicate with them telepathically. It's important that you take note of any specific animals that you are drawn to at this time. These animals may have a message for you, or there may be some spiritual significance in the animal's strengths that you have to draw from. Are there any animals which keep appearing in your life? Is there an animal that makes you cringe or scares you? These feelings are all clues as to what you need to work on spiritually. For example, if you're drawn to horses, you may seeking greater freedom and movement, or if you are scared of rabbits, perhaps you worry that life is too fast for you and there are too many people around you. Tiger Eye is a protective crystal which is associated with your own personal willpower and the solar plexus chakra. So yeah, look into the solar plexus chakra, and I've been saying this a lot in my readings, but if you do, as the book was saying, if you see animals, a certain animal a lot recently, look up the spiritual meaning behind that animal, and you'll get some messages and some guidance through that animal. So then we have and I also had one more thing that had popped into my mind, is that I'm seeing that people make you really angry, but animals don't. That some of you may just be really more connected to animals than to people, and that's where your anger stems from, is that you have never felt anger towards animals, but that people are what are causing your frustrations. So what I see is this, just like in this picture, how this woman is going to the unicorn and feeling that gentleness, and that you can feel that forgiveness for everyone, for all the humans who have made you just feel terrible, and cultivating that gentleness with your animal friends and seeing how animals show compassion and love to humans, and you can do the same by learning from your animal friends. And then look at this. Oh, I love what was underneath there. Friendship, and it's a friendship between like a unicorn and a squirrel. Is there any other animals in there? No, but it's just really cute. So cute friendship. I feel you're such a your feminine energy is such a Disney princess who can talk to animals, and it reminds me of the My Little Pony, where an older version of the My Little Pony cartoon, where there used to be, I think, like two girls that would come over to Ponyland and interact with the ponies. And that's what I'm feeling for your feminine energy, pile 3, is that they are just this link, and that's why you have this healer and leadership. You're a link to this land of the animals, if that resonates with you, and or maybe just to the other spiritual world. But yeah, finding that compassion through your animal friends, to have compassion for humanity, is a big thing to connect to your feminine energy, pile 3. So then let's get some Divine Feminine Oracle cards to see what Divine Feminine energies are guiding you, giving you support, and what themes you want to look at through the Divine Feminine. So let's see, what Divine Feminine guidance, who is here to assist pile 3's connection to their Divine Feminine energy. Let's see who's here to guide you, pile 3. Ooh. All right, anyone else? Wow, you got 2 very powerful mothers. So you have Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. And then Kali, the Mother of the universe. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. And look at this. Look at these 2 contrasting but fluid influences. I feel like they're like this mirror of each other, that kind of yin and yang energy that you have on your side. And it's not like the devil and the angel on one side. It's more like there's 2 aspects to you, and I think it kind of represents this healer and leadership dynamic that you're having with your feminine energy. And it's that you have these 2 great parts about feminine energy. You have this divine, pure energy for healing, and then you have also this take action, leadership, feminine energy also. So let's read about both of these. So the first one we'll read about is Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. So it's interesting, you got the Mother of God and the Mother of the universe. And personally for me, I believe God and the universe are the same thing. And I like using more that I am speaking to the universe, or I say spirit, more than God, because I think that God has a lot of just masculine connotations, and it more refers to, I feel like, one entity. When I talk about spirit or the universe, I feel like God is actually one with all the spirits, entities, planets, every part of the universe. The collective consciousness is all in one God. But God is not one man. He is everything, or it is everything. So yeah, that's why I tend to say universe or spirit instead of God, because then I tend on using gender pronouns as he, because that's what's been drilled in my head, as God is he. So I don't believe in that, but I believe God is all energies and not just masculine. So that's why. So this is interesting that you have this all within you, within your feminine energy, to be the mother of both the universe and God, or your higher self, is what I'm getting. So let's read about Mary of Nazareth as one of your guiding feminine energies. Okay. Mary of Nazareth. I am blessed, my courage gives birth to the divine. Who she is. Mary of Nazareth represents the profound spiritual and creative power we all possess. Mary, or Miriam in Hebrew, was a first century Galilean Jewish woman from Nazareth, who is one of the most crucial figures in the Christian tradition for having given birth to Jesus Christ. Mary has been venerated since the inception of Christianity and also holds a reverend position in Islam. Her many names include Saint Mary, Virgin Mary, Queen of Heaven, Our Lady of the Angels, Our Lady of Good Counsel, Our Lady Undoer of Knots, She Who Confirms the Truth, and Theotokos, which means God-bearer or Mother of God. The Gospel of Luke relates that when Mary was engaged to Joseph, the archangel Gabriel visited her. Gabriel announced, "What joy! Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God." The angel then said, "The Holy Spirit will descend on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you, and therefore the child will be called Holy and Son of God." And Mary responds, "Let it be with me as you have said." Mary is present throughout her son's ministry. When he appears at the temple at age 12 and declares that it is his true home, when he turns water to wine at the wedding in Cana, and when he's Cana. Anyway, and when he's crucified, she is said to have remained at his side along with Mary Magdalene. She personifies the steadfast and unconditional love of the archetypal mother. The title Mother of God, or Theotokos, was recognized at the Council of Ephesus in 431 CE and best captures the power of her yes to the angel Gabriel. He hands her a lily in the Annunciation to symbolize the Trinity and to honor the fact that without her yes, the Christian story could not have unfolded. When your soul selects her card. I've always imagined that Mary was terrified to hear an angel loudly announcing that she was meant to be the Mother of God. Her surrender to Gabriel's words feels so courageous and too unacknowledgeable. Mary has no idea what she will have to meet with, what will be asked of her, or what this love for her son will put her through. But she says yes, nonetheless, so that she can be in service of the divine. Mary's acceptance of her role has been in the shadow of the Christian story, uncelebrated because she is seen as so divine. But she was human too. She could have said no. Her courage could have faltered, but she aligned with the light. She heard Gabriel's words, "Be not afraid," and allowed the divine story to work through her life. And she let joy dictate her response. Mary leads us to trust that we can say yes to what feels right, light. It doesn't have to make sense or work with the timeline the ego has mapped out for us. In the midst of our ordinary, everyday lives, we can say yes to the angel who greets us in the space of our heart and let the energy of joy give birth to the divine through us. Soul voice meditation. Am I in service to the light within me? Intention. I am blessed and my courage gives birth to the divine. So what I'm getting from this card is that from both of these cards, that you have to understand the mother within yourself, the divine mother, not just the regular human mother you have. Remember that you have divine mothers watching over you and helping you, guide you to your feminine self, your feminine energy that needs to be awakened. And I'm seeing that if you feel comfortable to pray to Mother Mary, do some Hail Marys and just connect to that, the story of Mary. And you also could be named Mary. My sister's named Mary. That's what I was getting to. Something about Marys. There's something about Marys. So yeah, connect to that motherly energy. It's very powerful. It's very powerful. So then we have Kali, the mother of the universe. Take a look at that picture. Zoop. Okay. Number 64. Kali, the mother of the universe. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Kali embodies the ultimate wake-up call to get us aligned as soon as possible with what we have come here to do. This Hindu goddess is the most fierce form of the dark divine feminine. She's that which brings all things to life or to an end. Her name comes from the Sanskrit word meaning the fullness of time. Kali is first mentioned in the 6th century Devi Mahatmyam when the goddess Durga is threatened by 2 demons. Kali emerges from the rage furrowed Durga's forehead and slays all the demons with ease. There's your rage power, pile 3. This is why she is often pictured holding the severed head of a demon, which represents the ego of false beliefs and illusions. She appears wrathful, and yet she is considered to be the most loving. She's like a mother desperate to grab her beloved child from out of harm's way, willing to yank them from the path that they were on in order to bestow freedom. Her iconography often depicts her as standing on the naked body of the Hindu god Shiva. He is her consort, and together they represent the power available to us when we've honored both the masculine and the feminine within us. And Kali is the feminine that's called on when the masculine has gone out of balance within us and in the world. She's the divine protectress, and the mother of the universe because she can cut through illusion and grant us the reality our soul came to manifest. When your soul selects her card. Kali is as subtle as a sledgehammer. She shows up to stir us of what no longer serves us. And that sounds good in theory, but in practice it can feel as if the ground beneath us has turned to sand. All those illusions about ourselves, especially what we think we're capable of, suddenly dissolve beneath us. When Kali sweeps in, we can easily slip into feeling like a victim. It can feel as though events are happening to us rather than for us. Kali doesn't want us to waste another precious second being someone we are not. She doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with the respect and love we need to do the light work we've come here to do. Kali wants to sever the ties our ego has made out of fear or out of false belief that we don't deserve better or more. She wants us to get terrifyingly real. She wants us to reckon with the fact that we are not here to please others or to make them proud. We are here to listen to the singular call of our own soul. Kali is the harbinger of having entered Kairos, soul time. Stripping the ego to reveal the soul can feel raw and often heartbreaking, but ultimately Kali has come out of fierce love for the truth of who we really are. She is giving us the opportunity to choose again, to start over, and this time from a place of tremendous wisdom and strength. Our vulnerability. She lets us begin again from the bare bones truth of who we are. Soul voice meditation. What is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me? Intention, I release all that doesn't serve me, and it's time to be the truth of who I am. So yeah, look into that anger that you have and use that to determine what you need to remove from your life and be strong about that. And it was hard for me to understand that anger can be a constructive thing and help me. I figured that it helped me towards healing my feminine energy. So really check out Healing Rage, which I'll put down in the description below if you want to look into that book so you can work with your rage. I think that will be very helpful. And the Mother of God and the Mother of Universe are on your side to journey and heal you. So let's get some divination blocks. So we just got letters and numbers. We got an X, a 2, a 7, a B, and a Z. So then we, why do you keep saying we? I've got some charms and stamps that can give a little more insight before we end your reading. Pile number 3. So look at these circles. A lot of cycles, as we got cycles. So work with that cycles, work with the moon. So that, and then what I'm also getting is that working with what has been cycling in your life, what keeps getting you angry, what keeps popping into your life that is frustrating you. How do you break out of this chain and make your circles work for you in a working machine? So figure out what kind of cycles are popping up for you. Pile 3, and then we have an I and a B again, double B's. And then this is a stick that my husband found for me in the park, and it was crossed with another stick with a hole, but I guess they uncrossed themselves in my little charm stamp container. So what I'm getting here is I'm getting that unicorn horn vibe, and it's this connection to the earth and to trees specifically, if that resonates with you, and that trees can be super healing for you, and that maybe when you're feeling frustrated and angry, I see you putting your hands on a tree and releasing that energy into the tree, and the tree can absorb it. Whatever anger, all that energy, put it into the tree and find a tree that's your special tree. I have 2 trees that I named because a great witch, Patty Negri, suggested naming your trees putting them to work basically. So like one tree, so I have Henry and Henrietta. Henry's the bigger tree and Henrietta's the smaller tree, and one is for material abundance and one is for love abundance. So they're both for abundance, and they're like processing abundance for me. So giving them some work, or if you don't have a tree nearby, go to a park or maybe a plant if all else fails. But I just see you guys really releasing that anger. You're not really screamers, so try just putting that energy, like say this is the tree, and putting that palm on there, both palms, whatever, and then just really push it, pulling out all that rage silently, energetically into the tree, and maybe that tree will help it grow, but I don't think it will do any damage to it. I think it will help you, that tree energy. So that's all I have for you, pile 3s. So I'll see you next time in the next reading. Bye.